So, welcome to the final session of the day where we try to wrap up what's happened at the COP during the day, certainly from our perspective.
And we have a lot of great guests during our sessions here. But let's start by connecting to Stockholm. So, what's going on in Stockholm? How are you tonight? And what are your thoughts from this watching and participating in the COP today from the Stockholm perspective?
Hello, Nick and Katarina. Thank you for a great show. Yeah, I can go first.
You go first. Thanks for a wonderful show today. You first, David.
No, it's been lovely to follow the discussions from COP. I think it's really up and running now. And the discussion on data centers and energy efficiency, I think, was very illuminating that we had earlier on. Particular something Thomas Spencer of the IEA said about data centers, AI being a bit two-faced. You have, on the one hand, enormous footprint from the calculations being made, but you also have vastness, a richness of opportunity in terms of how we can enable the transition through solutions powered by AI. So, and my key takeaway, my reflection from that is that we need to regulate not only the risk with AI, but also its footprint. So in this build-out, we need strict rules in order to make it as energy efficient as possible. And here, using it for district heating is one of the solutions that we so discussed. But on the flip side and on the more fun side of that, I think we need to really connect AI innovators with the global climate community and environmental innovators and create incentives to really push the transformation through AI. It's sad to see that the exponential transformation that is really powering AI now, it's really the exponential transformation in terms of climate solutions that we need to see, but maybe the two can be married in the future.
Let's certainly hope for that. And this was David Olsson, co-founder and CEO of We Don't Have Time. And over to Christina Carlmark, you are business partnership manager at We Don't Have Time. So what are your thoughts?
Yes. I have a short reflection on the same panel regarding energy efficiency. And at the last COP we said we need to double it by 2030, and it's only been 1% better last year, so we need to speed it up. And in one of these sessions, the panels we had, there was a dialogue. You asked a question, Nick, actually, to the panelists, who's going to drive, who's going to be in the driving seat? Is it going to be private or public in regards to shifting how we do the build-out of all these server halls? And I would say it could be the IT customer, because if the IT customer puts demands on where they buy their data, they could push for local, resilient data centers that are actually servicing the district heating. So let's go for the customer, pushing for a faster change.
Thank you, Christina.
Yeah, I just want to say I thought that whole session was interesting because I thought it was fascinating that the EU does not really still value heat, and that the huge scale of heat being wasted in Europe and also the United States, it's not peanuts, right? This is a huge resource of wasted energy and thus wasted emissions into the atmosphere which don't need to be there. And there needs to be some stepping up on valuing heat in the EU and in the USA and elsewhere. If that's not going to happen, it's... And the other elephant in the room is the guy in Hamburg. I asked the question. You're getting your heat for the district heating from a copper processing factory.
Smelting, yeah.
What happens if that closes down? And he went, yeah, that's a bit of a problem. So there are these kind of uncertainties in the heat story, and they need to be dealt with, right? Otherwise, we're going to continue to waste it.
Well, thank you very much, Christina and David from Stockholm. Today is one of the days of the COP, which is the Finance COP, dubbed the Finance COP, of course, and the outcome of these negotiations will largely define if the COP will be a success or a failure, as every year. From what we have learned, the tensions are high in the negotiation rooms. Individual countries between north and south, etc., etc., and looks like we're going to have pretty much of a bumpy road ahead in this COP, which is of course fairly expected. But most people do agree on is that we need desperately to move the money here. We need to move the money, and we need to move them fast and to be able to cut the emissions at the speed that is required to make this transition. So let's now invite two guests who are going to talk a little bit more about this. Ingmar Rentzhog. Ingmar Rentzhog, please join me here in the studio. And also we have with us Ilkay Demirdag, Head of Global Events Top Tier Impact. So please join us, Ingmar and Ilkay. So grab a seat and grab a hand microphone. I need to adjust my headset because something slid off here in the rush of changing moderators. See if this is better. Excellent. So Ilkay, for those of you who do not know what you do at Top Tier Impact, please tell them.
Great, thank you for the opportunity. Top Tier Impact is a global ecosystem for impact investors and innovators. We have more than 50 chapters globally, and we try to actually bring impact investing and sustainability to the mainstream.
Excellent, excellent. So, Ingmar, finance is a topic that is very, very dear to you, and it's also the topic here at the COP. Please tell the audience a little bit more about the Move the Money campaign, those that might have missed this campaign.
Yes, the Move the Money campaign is something we launched earlier this year together with UNDP, Exponential Roadmap and the Non-Fossil Fuel Proliferation Treaty. And it's all about that in order to make it, in order to scale all those solutions, we need more impact investors. We need to move the money, because what people don't know, and we have the money. It's just that the money is invested today in the old fossil fuel economy. I could make an example. The global pension funds all over the planet, pension money, or money that we give to the institutions that they invest, and in the future they're going to give it back when we need them. There's an NGO out there that we on time are collaborating with. It's a website called Investing Climate Cows. There you can look up exactly where this money are going, and they have a counter, and that counter is now up to $5.1 trillion are invested in fossil fuel companies. $5 trillion, that's 5% of all money that goes around in the world. So it's a huge amount. And the interesting part, according to EIA, they have done a study, we need $4.5 trillion invested yearly in clean solutions. And if we get the money into the clean solutions, we will actually succeed with the Paris Agreement. And currently there's around $1 trillion invested yearly. So we're lacking 3.5 trillion. So okay, we have 5 trillion here, and we are lacking 3.5 trillion here. That's Move the Money all about. We really need to do this transition. We have the money, we need to move it.
Thank you, Ingmar. So, Ilkay, what are your thoughts on this?
I'm totally in line with Ingmar. We definitely need to really shift the money towards the right solutions, because when we look at the ecosystem, including the startup ecosystem to global corporates, we have the solutions. On the other hand, we have the capital, and we really need to make the capital move to the right kind of decisions for investments, where we have more impact for people and planet. And I think that's a great initiative. There was another initiative, which was launched at the beginning of the year in Davos for nature and biodiversity investments. I think that's a very important area as well. Nature itself is so regenerative. We don't need much more to really find new solutions. I mean, if we keep it or sustain it, it's more than enough to really meet the net zero targets. So we really need to focus on the right initiatives and the right mindset to channel capital towards right investments.
So Ilkay, you have a very interesting event here tomorrow here in
Yes.
Baku. Could you please tell the viewers about this?
Sure. I mean, this COP is all about finance, as you mentioned, and that's why we're going to be focusing on climate finance and regional collaboration in our event tomorrow. This is going to be bringing in asset managers, family offices, corporates, innovators, and policymakers, because we think, these complex problems can only be solved with stakeholder management, with really collaboration from all stakeholders. That's why we bring in all these decision makers, and we're a very action-oriented ecosystem. So we tend to, do these events not just for the sake of doing events, but we see so many synergies coming out of these events. Companies are formed, funds are getting more, capital. We see investments going into the startups, and that's why we want to focus on climate finance tomorrow and really discuss what do we need to close the gap to for climate finance, basically.
Thank you. And Ingmar, you're going to speak at this event tomorrow. What are you going to talk about?
Money.
Absolutely. More specifically.
I'm going to talk about what I just said,
Move the Money campaign.
because it's one audience that really needs to hear it. It's the finance industry.
Absolutely.
And now I know that you will have a lot of people involved in the impact industry,
Exactly.
but and they will like the message, but they don't know the big numbers that are still investing in fossil fuels. So people need to hear it. There's not lack of money. We have it. We just need to move it. But I will do one more thing. And that is a campaign we are part of, We Don't Time is part of, inspired by My Money Matters and UK NGO that did a quite very funny film with Olivia Colman that is thanking the UK investors, pension investors, because they can celebrate in oil because all their money goes into oil. And that created a big debate in UK about pension funds' role in the green transition. So there's a Swedish activist out there that have engaged a lot of organizations. We Know Time has of course joined this, so that have made a Swedish version of this film, and we will have it English translated. And it's targeted the largest pension fund in Sweden, AP7. They invest billions of Swedish pension saving money. 5 million Swedes are saving into this fund because it's state-owned. And early this year, they were actually one of the largest investors in Saudi Aramco oil. Now they're not that anymore because we campaigned for it, but they're still heavily invested in fossil fuel. So we will show this short film, and it will be funny to see the audience react.
Thank you, Ingmar. We're looking forward to hearing the response from that event tomorrow. So Ilkay, what would your main arguments be for those that say that we really can't afford moving the money, we can't really afford the green transition? What do you say to them?
Well, I think finance and technology on its own is not enough to close this finance gap. We need the right intentions and consistency and dignity about how we deal with this. When people say we cannot do it, I don't buy this argument, because as your platform say, we don't have time. We're far behind the targets anyway, and we need a collaborated mindset to shift this towards the right attitude. And I think one more thing that I would like to add, about impact investing in general, there is this misconception that impact investing is like you're almost giving away your profit or the return. It's not the case. When you look at impact investment opportunities, because you have a better risk management, basically you actually get a better return on your impact investment opportunities as well. So this is not like giving away. This is while you're making your financial returns, really doing good for planet and people.
Thank you very much indeed. Ingmar, would you like to add? You have a long and strong track record from the finance business.
I agree. There's a lot of investment you can do there where you can make money and get impact. We just had this Good Wings on the show that is a perfect example of that. But I also see that it's not the full story, because many times those impact investment, those climate solutions and nature-based solution and environment solution you have there, they are often very, have a great potential in making a lot of money, but it often takes longer time. So if you want to do fast profit, you can invest in an oil company. But if you want to get money over time, you will lose money on oil company and you will make money out of impact companies. But I think it's important to add that to this narrative around that impact investments, they are profitable, but it often takes longer time. And that's why it's so frustrating when you see those pension funds. Because pension funds, they are long-term investors. We're talking about 30, 40 years duration.
They should be able to have this perspective.
Exactly. If they can't have it, who can? I mean, if I'm saving to a beer next Friday, maybe investing in an impact is not the best choice for your wallet. It's the best choice for your future. But I mean, come on. We need to have the time perspective, and that's frustrating. I don't know if you agree.
Of course, it looks like you definitely want to say
what
something.
you say. I just want to make an addition. I think the short-termism view is what brought us to where we are at the moment, and we really need a long-term view about how we actually value investments, how we make the investment decisions, and we definitely need patient capital to solve these problems, because some of the technologies that are offered, that could be very essential for the climate change, they need intensive capital, and that is patient capital as well. It's all both too much capital intensive, and it's a long-term capital. So we definitely need investors with a more long-term view.
Well, thank you very much, Ilkay, and best of luck with your event tomorrow.
Thank you
for
very
you and
much.
also for Ingmar is going to speak there. So thank you.
I had a lot of things I wanted to say in that session, but I didn't get a chance. I was looking forward to it. So tomorrow we will be back with another great day of climate broadcasting. We're going to invite expert guests again to talk about how to cut methane emissions under our campaign Buy More Time. And by the way, with Buy More Time, if you're interested in joining it in any way, you can go to wedon'thavetime.org and you'll find the website and you'll be able to sign up. We'll look also at exponential transition plans for net zero businesses, probably with our dear friends the Exponential Roadmap, I suspect, and how to create a blueprint for green telecoms, and hear about positive tipping stories on energy and transport, and much more.
Always much more. We have quite a full day and rich day tomorrow, and we're going to finish this day with the song "I Want to Be Cool," and it will be followed by a very special weather report. So thank you for now, and please tune in tomorrow again.
I want to be cool, it isn't a joke. To walk in the woods, without all the smoke. I love to swim, but not in a flood. We can't grow a crop, down in the mud. I want to be cool and get the job done, so we don't get left out to bake in the sun. Let's plant some trees and make some shade. From the ground up, that's how change is made. I want to be cool, how about you? Together there's not one single thing that we couldn't do. Take care of the earth and each other too. Working together, we all can be cool. I want to be cool, it's gotten too hot. I'm joining the movement to save what we've got. So if every girl and every boy can live a good, long, healthy life and find some joy. I wanna be cool, how about you? Together there's not one single thing that we couldn't do. Take care of the earth and each other too. Working together, we all can be cool. Leaders, it's time to lead. Listen to your people in need. The whole world is sweating this out. Can't you hear your kids starting to shout? I wanna be cool, how about you? Together there's not one single thing that we couldn't do. Take care of the earth and each other too. Working together, we all can be cool. I wanna be cool, how about you? Together there's not one single thing that we couldn't do. Take care of the earth and each other too. Working together, working together, working together. We all can be cool. I wanna be cool. I wanna be cool.
سيدتي سادتي، نشكركم على الحضور معنا في نشرة جوية استثنائية. أنا غالية سلمي، المقدمة متاع النشرة. من الشمال إلى الجنوب ومن الجنوب إلى الشمال، المناخ مش قاعد يتقدم. تخيلوا معايا وضعيتي وأنا كبيرة، جفاف، سخانة، حرق غابات. تحبوني نكمل؟ خوفتكم. هذا الكل شي كلفنا برشا. في 2050 الانحباس الحراري شي كلفنا 600,000 مليار دولار. هذا الكل متسبب فيه التلوث اللي قاعد يسخن في الجو. فما حلول نستعملوا فيها الطاقات المتجددة، وتعرفوا اللي الطاقة الشمسية تكلف أقل من المحروقات. سيدتي سيدتي، كان ما نتحركوش باش نخسروا برشا. هذه بالنسبة ليكم نشرة جوية، بالنسبة لينا مستقبلنا.